Headed over to Kevin's on April 29th. It's a Friday night, 8:30. NFL Draft Night number 2. The Dolphins have not picked yet. They own a 3rd rounder, a 4th rounder, and 2 7th rounders. So they'll probably be picking here, and I would guess about an hour and 20 minutes maybe. Looking for a possible starting center for the next 8 years, or a linebacker who's fierce, makes plays, and can cover that Cook that Buffalo just signed, a running back out of Georgia. T-Wolves game 6 tonight on the road, or at home actually, against the Grizzlies. Would love to see the T-Wolves win that series.
Actually had a sneaky great 2 days, right? They
route running and pass catching, because you had a lot of that. You had Garrett Wilson. We get it. So this guy can catch the ball. He can get open, but he's an excellent blocker as far as the run is concerned too. So you get dual talents.
Miami Dolphins 1972 undefeated season. Here to celebrate the perfect season and announce the Miami Dolphins selection, 1968 draft pick, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 2-time Super Bowl champion from Syracuse University, Larry Zonka.
Thank you.
It's an honor for me to be here celebrating the 50th anniversary of Coach Don Shula's 1972 undefeated Miami Dolphins. With the 102nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Channing Kendall, linebacker, Georgia. Go Dolphins.
Hey, Dan Marino pleased with the pick. They said, they made the trade for Tyreek Hill, that they were going to spend the draft watching Tyreek Hill highlights until now, because this was their first pick in this draft, and they get Channing Kendall, a second-team All-SEC.
Well, here you go right here. Watch this. He's a blur. Look at him go get him at Clemson. That's a tackle behind the line of scrimmage from inside out. 41 was all over the field for Georgia. Again, a ton of talented guys up front. He could blitz. You saw him at the Senior Bowl, did a good job blitzing too and being physical. But another Georgia football player off the board that plays with that physicality, that fast approach. There's a national championship game getting after Bryce Young right there.
It's interesting. He's not great in coverage because the change of direction skills as fast as probably any linebacker in this class. He also was really good at spying quarterbacks when he came in the game.
Channing Kendall, yet another Bulldog defender, and the speed that you mentioned, a 4.47 in the 40 at the combine. That was 5th fastest among front 7 players. And Channing Kendall picked by Miami. Kansas City's on the clock. What is Andy Reid wearing? What is that?
Well, Alex texted, he told his buddy he wanted a linebacker, and that's what we got. Linebacker, Georgia. Channing. Makes me think of Channing Crowder. Hope this guy's a player. Causes some fumbles, picks up some things, and takes him in for 6.
With the 102nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Channing Kendall, linebacker, Georgia.
Hey, Rich, a Georgia defender. What do you know? That's odd. Channing Kendall, big-time speed, 4.4 speed. Again, we thought all these linebackers, off-the-ball linebackers, would roll off the board today, and they have. Wasn't a full-time player there at Georgia. As you can imagine, all the mouths to feed on that defense, so much talent, but you could see his range. His speed is real. It shows up. And when he arrives, he's an explosive forward, outstanding blitzers. Nakobe Dean as good as it gets. You also see it here with Tyndall. Ask him to spy the quarterback. Again, this is where that speed, this was a big factor in that game against Alabama. Is able to just close down on Bryce Young.
And so there's Dan Marino shaking Mike McDaniel, the new head coach, shaking his hand. That's his first draft choice and the 5th team in this draft. 5 different teams use their first draft choice in the draft on a Georgia defender. That's the 5 different teams did that.
Been working on yearbook stuff this Saturday morning, day 3 of the NFL draft, and just missed the Dolphins picks. They said Tua got another guy to shore up the offensive line, help protect him a little bit, so got to figure out who that is. 12-13. I like those numbers, hopefully a good omen.
Absolutely. Look, when he wears that number 20, he reminded me of Darren McFadden in terms of the way he likes to run the football. I'm not saying he's Darren McFadden from Arkansas, but you can see the similarities in terms of
check that out, Jackrabbit going.
Running style. He's a darting, slashing type of running back. Doesn't play the power game. It's the finesse game. It's the use my speed type of game.
Go
but
Jacks.
You know what? Zach wants to be a 3-down type of guy because he has got 3-down type of skills from an athletic standpoint. Should be more of a factor in the passing game. They had no idea how to use him in that regard, but Bill Belichick will figure it out.
Jackrabbit becoming a Patriot. Oh, he's the enemy now. Very soggy Millbank, 48 degrees. Probably close to 7/10 of an inch in the last day and night. $125. The pick is in for the Miami Dolphins. Who's it going to be? This is their second pick after taking Kendall, Channing, the linebacker. Look at that fact. 7-7. 3 picks remaining, including this 4th rounder. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Who's the next Dolphin star? Oh, wide receiver. Eric E., Texas Tech. What will they say about this guy? I can't say I know a lot about him. Papa Bear would. 2021 second team All Big 12.
They drafted a corner in Derek Stingley Jr. and you up to date in the draft. You come back.
You reckon drafted today? 15 of 19 on kicks over 50. It's the only time I put a kicker in my top 150 in 10 years.
How dare you? How dare you?
Live from Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Flamengo soccer player Felipe Luis.
Vai. Olá, fãs da NFL. Aqui é o Felipe Luis, lateral do Flamengo. Diretamente do Cristo Redentor, no Brasil, o mais novo mercado para o Miami Dolphins. Contamos com o apoio de vocês. Felipe Luis from Flamengo, here at the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil, the newest market for the Miami Dolphins. With the 125th pick in the 2022 NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins select Eric Esocoma, wide receiver from Texas Tech. Fees up.
I love it. Esocoma, they get a wide receiver that has outstanding hands. He has some of the most incredible catches of anybody in this draft class. You can watch him against Florida International on the sideline, just a ridiculous catch. Fantastic hands, going to get down the field and win on jump balls, CD. That's what he does best.
Yeah, and it's not just all, everybody wonders about Texas Tech in the old days, is the gimmick offense, scheming guys up, what have you. This is a tough receiver who works inside the seams, also can work out to the perimeter, and look at this. You know how people say, throw short, run long? He can do that for you as well. I really liked his tape going through. I was able to sit with Ben Fennell for a long turned him on to me. I was with him totally on that one. This kid can play.
You better be able to run away from some people if you're going to be in that wide receiver room in Miami now.
I like it.
Your own. Back to Vegas. The Raiders are back on the clock in a moment.
The 2022 NFL Draft is brought to you by Lowe's. We put the home in home team.
5G phone on us.
Delightful.
With no trade-in required.
I love it.
What's not to love? Verizon is going ultra, so you can get more.
I need a big, big
Tell me you don't feel like cooking without telling me.
In our lives and think, I wish I bought an even thinner TV.
Found a lighter light beer.
Or had an even smarter smartphone. Do you think any... Or the places we didn't go.
So we can stop looking and we can finally consolidate our debt?
Yes, please stop. For a better way to find money in your home.
There it is, Cameron Good. California linebacker. What's the scoop on him, I wonder?
Spring and the Home Depot. Time to stop and smell the roses. But why stop there?
Good one, too. We have reached the you truly never know portion of our draft. So those are the last 10 selections in this NFL draft. Anybody jump off the screen with you there?
You can see those two Niner picks, the second of which...
NFL draft in a moment here in Vegas.
Jeez, they always cut off right on the Dolphins. Always. ESPN, NFL Network, the haters. You heard that fins up, fins up. Hit the L button on your keyboard a couple times. Go back 30 seconds and hear your fins up. That's all we get. Who'd they pick? Last pick? Fourth pick for the Dolphins? Ooh, quarterback. Quarterback, Alex. Quarterback. K-State. Interesting. 6'1", 7'8". That's probably my height exactly.
The big dinner box only from Pizza Hut.
No one out pizzas the Hut.
Texas Bowl MVP. That's gotta mean something.
Thanks to everybody for helping out. Hopefully everybody at home can too. And thank you to our sponsors for supporting the kids at St. Jude.
Jalen Barnes, this is a player coming out of Baylor. Matt Rule recruited there, so he's very familiar with him. And Matt Rule wanted speed when he got to Baylor. He recruited a bunch
City is now on the clock, and we say goodbye to the first ever draft in Las Vegas, where Wayne Newton made a pick and Michael Irvin kissed Donnie Osmond on the head. And the Blue Man Group invaded our set. It's Vegas. Back to you.
Rich, Peter, CD, and DJ, phenomenal work out there in front of the camera all draft weekend long. Phenomenal work behind the camera by everybody.
John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Ravens. He's the third longest tenured coach in the NFL already. He's had tremendous success there. And they're retooling in Baltimore for yet another run. We'll get you up to date. We moved into the 7th round now. Catch up to all the picks coming up.
Commercial, of course. Jeez.
I've got that blue sky. DirecTV Stream. Now get $30 off over 3 months.
4 times. 4 times.
It was 3.
Wait!
Massively complex supply chain to satisfy cravings from Tokyo to Toledo. So you partner with IBM Consulting to bring together
Let's go CG.
The issue will come up and support the run, but I think when you look at Jalen Watson, consistency in coverage. There are times when he didn't flip his hip, turn and locate the football. And I think when you look at being around the football, it's 4 fumble recoveries this year. Showcase that for Jalen Watson. He has the length and the size to match up against the bigger receivers, but late in routes, that's when he needs to be more consistent. If he can do that, the Chiefs can coach him up. The talent is there, the size is there in terms of the height, the length. And he ran 4.51, not great at the combine. 4.51's okay. It's not 4.41, but he plays like he is a 4.4 guy. I just think technique and ability.
Final pick for the Miami Dolphins is
on that roster.
You wind up getting a couple of
Ooh,
Apple Cup guys sort of booked
quarterback.
in your draft. They took Trent McDuffie, the cornerback from Washington, the #1 overall pick, Carl Loftus. Those strong defensive linemen, and then Jalen Watson, cornerback from Washington.
Yeah, he's got a shot. He's more of a backup type, you would think, with the Cleveland Browns.
Dawson Deaton on his way to Clemson. The Dolphins were next up. And then Skylar Thompson from Kansas State picked up by the Dolphins in the final round.
Yeah, I've always liked Skylar. He's just kind of a gamer, right? In 40 games at Kansas State, completed 63% of his throws, 7,000 yards, 42 touchdowns. You're talking about gaining experience in college. He was there since 2016. It's like a grown man at this point, right? He gave Oklahoma all sorts of trouble. Showed up big in the biggest games. He's got good mobility. I'd say above average arm strength to solid arm strength. The small hands, we're going to talk about, we got it with Kenny Pickett, we got it with Skylar Thompson, 8.5 inches, but let's get over it. Foot speed and strength to extend plays. That's what I like about him. It doesn't always have to be clean for him. Off platform, when things go wrong, Skylar seems to find that guy coming open late. I think as a number 2, hopefully, but certainly as a number 3 right away, he's a guy that with his mobility and his experience has a chance to make a roster long term.
Hey, when you think about Miami's offense, and you think about how it's going to look and how the quarterback is going to be used, an athletic quarterback who can get out on the perimeter and make those second reaction throws, second reaction plays, it's perfect. It's a perfect type of draft pick, although it's a 7th round pick, and I don't think there's any delusions of grandeur here that he's going to be a franchise guy. But you're looking for profiles. You're looking for profiles to fit what you want to do.
So the Dolphins, whatever you think about everything else that's gone on, they haven't exactly put Tua Tagovailoa in the best position to succeed. Whether it's putting him in before he should have been put in when Ryan Fitzpatrick was there, the way the offense was constructed last year, but now they've got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle from the draft last year. They sat around and watched, and they joked they were going to watch Tyreek Hill highlights until they got to their turn to draft in the 3rd round. Are the Dolphins on the right track? New coaching staff now, maybe some consistency in the way the offense will be constructed.
Yeah, you'd have to assume that they are. It's, as of right now, although football isn't played on paper, until you actually see them start playing, but they addressed the areas that they need to. Teron Armstead and Connor Williams, those are probably, again, if you want to pick out the most important acquisitions, that's where it started for them last year. Anytime you saw Miami play, their offensive line, you were sitting there going, what is this? Like, what is happening here? There is nothing but pressure all the time in this quarterback's face. They have to fix that right there, obviously, number 1. Number 2, they needed more weaponry. The question is whether or not Tua is the guy to deliver it to what is now the fastest wide receiver group in the NFL. Between Tyreek and Jalen, you don't want to just throw those guys a bunch of rocket screens and tunnel screens. You want them zooming down the field. Now, in college, what did Tua do? Tua was the best deep ball thrower in the NCAA when he was there. And people were saying, well, he doesn't have an arm. He can't throw the ball down the field. Well, just go pull out his Alabama tape. Yeah. He threw the ball just fine there. Now he needs to do it, Reese. Now he needs to get it done because there aren't really going to be any more excuses for him. They're trying to set the table for him, and if he doesn't eat at this table, somebody else will.
And they got an extra 1 next year.
That's right.
That was kind of the shot across the bow. You need to make huge improvements in what you're doing, or else we're in position we can go get Bryce Young, another Alabama quarterback, or C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. I think they've set themselves up perfectly. This gives Tua a fair shot, and he deserves it. But if he doesn't step up and take that next step, then it's time to move on.
Which I think he will.
I do too. I'm a big Tua believer.
Me too.
It's fair enough. It's hard in this league. There are very few guys that can overcome the other things around them not being right. I'm sure there are others. The guy that jumps to my mind is John Elway. John Elway was so stinking talented and good that maybe they didn't have everything perfect around him. He fixed it all. There are others, but most of the time you have to have it right with the quarterback. And Dolphins haven't had it right, but maybe in a better position now.
No question.
To get to a shot at it.
All right.
Sheed Walker.
Great breakdown.
Went off the board from Penn State going to
Let's
Green
go.
Bay.
They won that one. I'm still thrilled about it.
Point in time, Reese could be a pretty high.
It is now Sunday, late afternoon, and feeling good about the draft. We'll see what these young guys can do. 12 days of school left. The grass is starting to grow a little bit. Fins up.